chosen ones. If you are hearing this right now, it is because I am pulling you out before the collapse, before the trap, before the silence becomes your last warning. Do not ignore this moment, weary warrior. Heaven has leaned close because your next step is too important to miss. I know what has been pressing on your chest. I know the heaviness you have been carrying when no one was watching. I know the way you have smiled while your heart was breaking, the way you have kept moving while your spirit felt tired, the way you have tried to hold yourself together while confusion kept whispering that you are alone. But listen to me now. I am not late, I am not distant, and I am not leaving you where danger can finish what pain began. I am pulling you out. Yes, you, chosen one carrying hidden tears, son of silent battles, daughter of the breaking dawn. You have been surrounded by pressure, delay, betrayal, and spiritual noise. I am speaking directly into that place of exhaustion right now. You thought the struggle meant I had forgotten you. You thought the closed doors meant I had turned away. You thought the delay meant your life had been overlooked. But I have been working in the unseen. While people judged your pause, I was interrupting what would have destroyed you. While others questioned your timing, I was breaking lines of attack around your life. While you wondered why things kept falling apart, I was shielding you from what your eyes could not yet see. There is a reason this message found you today. There is a reason your heart stopped long enough to listen. There is a reason something in you recognized my voice before your mind could even explain it. Because the season you are in is not ordinary. It is a rescue season. I am pulling you out before it is too late, because the place you were standing in was becoming too costly for your spirit, too heavy for your mind, too dangerous for your future. I saw what was growing there. I saw the hidden compromise. I saw the slow leak of peace. I saw the drain on your joy. I saw the weariness that was trying to become your normal. And I said, no, not this one, not my chosen vessel, not my chosen vessel, not my hidden treasure, not the one I set apart before they even learned how to defend themselves. Do you feel how close I am right now? Do you feel the weight lifting even as you listen? That is not your imagination. That is my hand on the door, opening what fear tried to seal shut. I am the God who rescues. I am the God who interrupts. I am the God who steps into the fire and says, enough. When the enemy meant to keep you stuck in a cycle, I began a rescue. When rejection tried to convince you that you are unwanted, I was preparing a release. When loneliness whispered that your prayers were unheard, I was gathering the answer that would meet you at the exact hour your heart was about to collapse. I know you have been asking questions in the dark. Why did that relationship fail? Why did that opportunity vanish? Why did they turn cold? Why did the money dry up? Why does it feel like every time you get close, something shifts and pulls you back? Listen closely, beloved warrior. Not everything that broke was a punishment. Some things broke because they could not go where I was taking you. Some things shattered because they were built on sand. Some things had to end because they were quietly poisoning the future I prepared for you. I said in my word, in Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Do you hear that? Not some of your ways, not the easy ways, all thy ways, even the confusing way, even the painful way, even the painful way within the path that made no sense at all. You were never meant to understand everything before you obeyed. You were meant to trust me while the road was still hidden, and I know you have been trying to make sense of what happened. You have replayed conversations in your mind. You have stared at old wounds like they might finally explain themselves. You have asked whether you should have stayed, spoken, waited, fought, or left. But I am telling you now, I was already there. I was in the moment they misunderstood you. I was in the moment they dismissed you. I was in the moment your tears fell into the pillow, and no one heard them. I was in the moment you wondered whether your prayers had the power to reach my throne, and they did. Your tears have not been wasted. Your groans have not been ignored. Your secret prayers have not fallen to the ground like dead words. Every tear was recorded. Every cry was received. Every midnight question was heard. I am the God who sees in secret, and because I see in secret, I also move in secret. There is a danger in the path you were walking that you could not fully see yet. There was a snare hidden in the familiar. There was a spiritual drain behind the smile. There was an old picture that has stayed with myself. That want you to hear that habit, that connection, that room, that cycle, that delay. You kept saying, maybe it will get better. You kept saying, maybe if I try harder. You kept saying, maybe this is just a rough season. But I saw the truth underneath it all, and I love you too much to let you remain where your spirit was being slowly dimmed. That is why I am pulling you out. Not to shame you, not to expose you, not to expose you, not to abandon you, to preserve you, to restore your strength, to rescue your destiny, to protect your calling, to keep your oil from being drained by what was never meant to house your future. The one watching this, you have been standing at the edge of a decision, and I am speaking into that very edge now. Leave what is pulling you lower. Step away from what is stealing your peace. Release what keeps asking for more but giving you less. Turn from what keeps your soul restless at night. There are places you cannot keep visiting and still expect to keep your anointing clean. I am not speaking condemnation. I am speaking mercy, because mercy warns before destruction. Mercy calls before the fall. Mercy says, move now because I want you alive, whole and free. You are not weak because you have struggled to leave. You are not foolish because you stayed longer than you should have. You are not beyond help because you hesitated. But now you are hearing me, and that hearing is the beginning of your rescue. I am bringing you out of a place where your gifts were being muted. I am bringing you out of a season where your heart had become too accustomed to surviving. I am bringing you out of cycles that repeated because no one taught you how to recognize the trap. You were not created to live in constant tension. You were not created to beg for crumbs while carrying royal purpose. You were not created to keep shrinking to make broken spaces comfortable. You are mine. And because you are mine, I will not allow the enemy to keep writing the story of your life. Hear me in Psalm 34:17-19. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. Out of all of them, not some, not a few, all. That means the grief, the rejection, the setback, the betrayal, the isolation, the fear, the financial strain, the family burden, the hidden panic, the battle in your mind. I deliver you from all of it. And I know the devil has tried to make you believe that if you are truly chosen, your life should feel easy. But no, being chosen often means being tested, stretched, refined, and separated. It means I protect you by pruning what others would celebrate. It means I teach you discernment by allowing certain things to die before they can poison you deeper, so do not despise this pulling. I am pulling you out of spiritual compromise. I am pulling you out of emotional entanglement. I am pulling you out of the environment that has made your soul tired. I am pulling you out of agreements you made while hurting. I am pulling you out of fear-based thinking that told you you had no options. I am your option. I am your safety. I am your covering. I am your door. I am your way through. And I need you to understand something very carefully. The pull you feel right now is not punishment. It is rescue. It is holy urgency. It is my love refusing to let you fade into what was never your portion. Some of you have been standing in a place where your discernment kept whispering, "This is off." But your emotions kept answering, "Just stay a little longer." Your spirit knew one thing. Your pain argued for another. Now I am bringing clarity. What was foggy is becoming plain. What was confusing is becoming obvious. What was hidden is being uncovered. What was tolerated is being confronted. What was draining you is being exposed. And yes, that exposure can hurt, but it heals, because what is hidden cannot be healed. What is unnamed cannot be delivered. What is defended cannot be freed. That is why I am shining light into the places you avoided, not to embarrass you, but to lift you, not to crush you, but to free you. I am doing deep work in you, work that people will not always understand, work that may look quiet from the outside but is shaking chains inside, work that is removing the old weight so you can carry the new mantle. You have asked for breakthrough, but breakthrough requires removal. You have asked for peace, but peace requires exit. You have asked for a new beginning, but new beginnings often begin with a holy leaving. I told Abraham, get thee out, before I told him where to go. I told him to move before I explained the whole picture. And I am speaking that same kind of faith into you now. Get out of what cannot carry you. Get out of what dulls your spirit. Get out of what keeps you small. Get out of what keeps you small. Get out of what has become familiar but not fruitful. Because I am preparing something ahead of you that is keener, stronger, and more aligned with your calling than what you are leaving behind. And I want to speak plainly to your heart now. You are not behind. You are being extracted. There is a difference. Being behind says the door closed because you failed. Being extracted says the door closed because I loved you too much to let you remain. You are not being discarded. You are being deserted. You are not being rejected. You are being redirected. You are not being broken beyond repair. You are being softened for the oil I am about to pour. Tell me, did you think I would leave you in the same place after hearing your prayers for change? Did you think I would watch you weep over the same mountain forever? Did you think I would let the pressure continue until it crushed the treasure inside you? No. I am the shepherd who leaves the 99 and comes after the one. I am the father who runs toward the prodigal. I am the fire that burns but does not consume. I am the voice that calls Lazarus out of the tomb. And I am calling you out now. Come out of dead things. Come out of weary patterns. Come out of weary patterns. Come out of the room of endless second-guessing. Come out of the place where your confidence has been bleeding through disappointment. You're not meant to rot in delay. You're meant to rise through it. You're not meant to become bitter. You're meant to become refined. You are not meant to settle for survival. You are meant to walk in sacred abundance, spiritual clarity, and supernatural strength. And now I will tell you why this feels so intense. Because the closer you come to your breakthrough, the more resistance rises. The closer you come to your appointed door, the louder the noise becomes. The closer you come to your promised ground, the harder the pull back into old bondage feels. But I have already gone before you. In Exodus 14:14 I said, "The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace." Do you hear me? Hold your peace, not your panic, not your fear, not your old survival response. Hold your peace. The battle that has exhausted you is not yours to carry alone. I have been fighting in places you could not enter. I have been speaking over decisions you did not yet understand. I have been dismantling traps laid against your future, and one by one, the chains are breaking. Listen to the sound of heaven over your life right now, not applause from people, not approval from the crowd, not the noise of human validation, but the sound of doors shifting, chains loosening, and old patterns losing authority. I am pulling you out before it is too late, because I know what is coming next. I know where the path leads if you stay. I know what that connection turns into if you ignore the warning. I know what that habit becomes if you keep feeding it. I know what that compromise costs if you keep excusing it. That is why I am loving you with urgency. Sometimes my love feels like a hand on your shoulder saying, "No more." Sometimes my love feels like a closed door. Sometimes my love feels like a sudden discomfort that makes you finally leave. Sometimes my love feels like peace leaving a place it no longer belongs. Do not fear that discomfort. It is holy. It is the sign that your spirit is waking up. I am removing the sweet poison. I am exposing the flattering lie. I am cutting the cords that pretended to be comfort, but were actually captivity. And yes, there will be grief. You may grieve what you hoped it would become. You may grieve the version of the story you wanted. You may grieve the people who could not come with you. You may grieve the time that was lost. But grief is not the end of you. I turn mourning into dancing. I turn ashes into beauty. I turn ruined altars into places of encounter. I turn endings into entrances. And I am telling you, hidden one, the exit I am leading you through is making room for a destiny you could not have held while chained to the old one. Now hear this with all your heart. There are signs that I am pulling you out. You will begin to feel a growing inability to pretend. What once felt tolerable will begin to feel heavy. What once felt exciting will begin to feel empty. What once seemed necessary will start losing its grip. Your spirit will not let you make peace with what wounds you. That is not confusion. That is discernment, awakening. You will notice peace returning when you imagine obedience. You will notice sorrow increasing when you think about staying. You will notice that your prayers become sharper. Your tears become more honest. Your heart becomes less willing to negotiate with bondage. That is me. I am teaching your spirit to choose freedom. And when the fear says, "But what happens after I leave?" I answer, "I will be there." When the fear says, "But how will I survive?" I answer, "I am your provision." When the fear says, "But what if I am alone?" I answer, "I will never leave you, nor forsake you." Hebrews 13:15-5 says, "For he hath said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee." Not for a moment, not in the transition, not in the wilderness, not in the rebuilding, not in the unknown. I will not abandon the one I am rescuing. And I know your heart has been bruised by people who made promises they could not keep. I know your trust has been stretched thin by disappointment. I know your spirit has learned to brace itself because too many things changed without warning. But I am not like them. I do not lure you into freedom and then leave you exposed. I do not call you out and then walk away laughing. I do not expose a wound without also preparing the balm. I am the balm. I am the healer. I am the restorer. I am pulling you out because I intend to build you back stronger than before. Now, chosen vessel, I need you to hear the heart of this message. The thing you thought was ending your story may actually be ending a chapter that could have ended you. You have been afraid of the loss, but the loss was protection. You have been grieving the exit, but the exit was mercy. You have been resisting the shift, but the shift is salvation. I know that does not always feel tender at first. Sometimes rescue feels like disruption before it feels like relief. Sometimes deliverance feels like a wound before it feels like a miracle. But I see the full picture. I see the future you cannot yet see. I see the strength that will come after the tears. I see the freedom in your eyes when this weight is gone. I see the doors that open because you finally listened. I see the joy that returns when the counterfeit loses its place. And I tell you now, with holy fire and fatherly tenderness, do not romanticize what I am removing. Do not run back to what I am freeing you from. Do not call bondage home just because it was familiar. The wilderness may feel unfamiliar, but it is not empty. It is where I teach, purify, and prepare. It is where I feed you with what the crowd cannot see. It is where I strengthen the parts of you that were too weak to survive in the old place. And yes, I am also restoring what has been stolen. I restore years. I restore focus. I restore joy. I restore joy. I restore dignity. I restore your spiritual sight. I restore confidence. I restore the courage that was buried under disappointment. I restore the laughter that betrayal tried to silence. Some of you have been living as though you are only one loss away from collapse. But I am healing that fear. You are more anchored than you know because I am your anchor. When the storm comes, I am still there. When the water rises, I am still there. When the ground shakes, I am still there. When the ground shakes, I am still there. And I am not only there to comfort you, I am there to lead you through. There is a specific kind of people I am speaking to right now. You have been carrying hidden dreams that feel too large for your current environment. You have been sensing that your life was meant for more, but you could not explain the ache. You have been feeling like a stranger in spaces that once felt normal. You have been noticing that your spirit is offended by things you used to ignore. That is because I am maturing you. What used to fit will not fit anymore. What used to satisfy will not satisfy anymore. What used to distract you will no longer have the same power. And that is good. It means you are changing. It means the old cage is too small. It means the old language no longer describes the new assignment. You are not broken because you are restless. You are being called higher. Now, listen carefully, because I want to place courage in your chest. There are moments when I will ask you to move before you feel ready. There are moments when obedience will feel like stepping into mist. There are moments when you will not have all the answers, only enough light for the next step. That is where trust becomes worship. That is where faith becomes living, breathing surrender. And when you move with me, I will begin to show you things that were hidden from those who tried to contain you. I will show you why certain delays happened. I will show you why certain doors stayed shut. I will show you why certain people could not stay. I will show you how every interruption was being woven into rescue. But first you must let me pull you out. Not halfway, not with one foot still in the old place, not with your heart still begging for what is dying. Fully. Because half rescue still leaves you exposed to what I am trying to save you from. This is why I am speaking so urgently, because some of you are on the edge of a cycle that could repeat for years if you do not respond now. And I do not say this to frighten you. I say it because I love you. I would rather interrupt your comfort than permit your collapse. I would rather offend your old expectations than allow your calling to be buried. I would rather shake the room than let you sleep through the warning. So when you feel the holy discomfort, do not panic. When you feel the conviction, do not harden your heart. When you feel the release, do not cling to the ruins. Let me take it. Let me take the fear. Let me take the guilt. Let me take the false responsibility you keep carrying for things that were never yours to fix. Let me take the shame. Let me take the image of yourself that was formed under pressure rather than under truth. Because I am not calling you out to leave you exposed. I am calling you out to clothe you in strength. Now, I need you to hear this declaration over your life. You will not die in the place you were supposed to leave. You will not lose your mind in the season of transition. You will not be swallowed by the very thing I am rescuing you from. You will not miss your divine appointment because you chose obedience. You will not be abandoned in the middle of the road. I have assigned help to your path. I have assigned mercy to your steps. I have assigned wisdom to your decisions. I have assigned protection to your exit. The next movement of your life will not be random. It will be guided. It will be covered. It will be marked by peace that does not make sense and strength you did not manufacture. And if you have been asking, how will I know it is you? Listen to what I tell you now. My pull will bring conviction, not confusion. My voice will bring light, not chaos. My direction will bear the fruit of peace, even if it cost you the comfort of the old place. I have not given you a spirit of fear. I have given you power and love and a sound mind. That sound mind is returning now. That peace is returning now. That spiritual clarity is returning now. And because I am speaking with such intensity, I want to pause and bless the one who feels unseen in all this. You who have cried without words. You who have worked hard and still felt behind. You who have been the strong one for everyone else while silently bleeding inside. You who have tried to pray but could barely form the sentence. I see you. I see the private warfare. I see the nights. I see the trembling hands. I see the quiet faith that kept you alive. I see the part of you that never stopped hoping even when the odds looked cruel. You are not invisible to me. You are not forgotten. You are not too damaged. You are the one I have been guarding for such a time as this. Midway through this word, I want you to pause and honor what I am doing. Like this message, comment exactly, God is pulling me out. Subscribe and turn on the bell, because what I am speaking over your life is not ordinary, and you will need to remember this moment when the old place tries to call you back. Now keep listening. There is a vision I want to place before your spirit. I see a narrow path at night, and you have been walking it with tears in your eyes. The air around you feels cold. The walls beside you feel close. The way behind you is dark. But ahead, there is a break in the clouds. At first it is only a thin line of light. Then it widens. Then it becomes a door. Then it becomes open land. That is what is happening to you. The pressure is not proof that you are failing. The pressure is proof that you are near the opening. The darkness is not proof that you are lost. The darkness is proof that light is about to become unmistakable. So do not stop in the tunnel. Do not settle in the threshold. Do not return to the place that nearly taught your spirit to give up. Keep moving. I am placing strength in your legs. I am placing courage in your choices. I am placing discernment in your inner ear. I am placing fire in your bones. And I am also confronting some things that have been delaying you. There are relationships I am severing. There are lies I am dismantling. There are patterns I am uprooting. There are spiritual chains I am breaking. There are cycles in your family line that will not pass through you into the next generation. No more repeating the same heartbreak. No more living under the same fear. No more surrendering your peace to the same type of torment. No more partnering with what weakens you. I am drawing a boundary with my own hand, because what I am building in you cannot be stabilized by what is trying to keep you small. And when the enemy sees you begin to obey, he will try to make you think you are losing. He will call your obedience a mistake. He will call your exit abandonment. He will call your healing selfish. He will call your boundaries cold. Do not listen. What I call protection, he calls separation. What I call wisdom, he calls lack. What I call deliverance, he calls delay. But I know the difference. And I am teaching you to know it too. There will be confirmation after confirmation. A repeated word, a closed door that stays closed, a peace that returns when you let go, a strange discomfort every time you think about returning, a sudden strength to do what once felt impossible, a holy detachment from the very thing that used to own your thoughts. That is my hand. And when you see the signs, do not miss them. Now I speak specifically to the heart that has been battling financial pressure. You have wondered how to keep standing when the numbers have been loud, when the bills have been heavy, when the resources look too small, when the burden of provision made your sleep shallow. I am not blind to that. I know the stress. I know the fear of not enough. I know the temptation to settle for a lesser path because it looks more secure. But I am not only pulling you out of pain, I am pulling you into provision with purpose. I am teaching you to trust my timing in supply. I am teaching you to stop bowing to fear when I am already working ahead of you. Remember the ravens, remember the manna, remember the oil that did not fail. Remember the fish and the loaves. Remember that I have never once needed your situation to look abundant before I made it abundant. You are not being asked to manufacture miracles. You are being asked to trust the miracle worker. And some of you, the provision you need will come after you obey the instruction to leave, not before, because as long as you stay in the wrong place, you keep paying spiritual rent on territory that was never meant to house your destiny. Leave and watch how I provide differently. Leave and watch how doors open that your effort could not force. Leave and watch how favor begins to meet you in unexpected places. I am not asking you to leap into emptiness. I am asking you to step into trust, and trust is never empty when I am the one calling. Now I will speak about your tears. I have not forgotten a single one. The tear you wiped away before anyone saw it, the tear that fell in traffic, the tear that came during worship, the tear that came when you were too tired to ask for help, the tear that came from disappointment, from loneliness, from waiting too long, from hoping too deeply, from loving too much. I collected them, and I am turning them into witness. What has watered the ground of your pain will also water the ground of your harvest. What broke your heart will become part of the testimony that heals others. What nearly destroyed you will become the place where wisdom was born. That is how I work. I do not waste suffering. I redeem it. I do not ignore wounds. I transform them. And this is why the story of your life will not end in the chapter where you were hurt. It will move forward into the chapter where you were lifted. Do not rush this process. Let me pull the old things free. Let me clean the wound. Let me remove the infection. Let me restore what was numbed by survival. Because once you are free, you will see more clearly than before. You will love more wisely than before. You will choose more carefully than before. You will choose more carefully than before. You will pray more deeply than before. This is not just escape. It is transformation. Now I want to speak prophetically to the one who feels isolated. You have wondered why you are different, why the crowd exhausted you, why shallow conversations no longer satisfy you, why certain spaces make your spirit uneasy, why you feel like you are living between worlds. It is because I have separated you from myself. That separation may have felt lonely, but it was sacred. I was keeping you from noise so you could hear me. I was taking you out of the crowd so you could learn my voice. I was making your heart sensitive again. You were never meant to belong to every room. You were meant to carry my presence into the rooms I assign you, and the room I am preparing for you next will recognize the oil on your life. But first I had to pull you out of the place that was draining that oil. Some of you have been trying to pour from a cup that is nearly empty. I see how hard you have tried to keep serving while you were running on fumes. I see how you kept giving until your spirit felt dry. Not anymore. I am restoring your cup. I am anointing your head with fresh oil. I am giving you rest. Rest is not laziness. Rest is not laziness. Rest is not failure. Rest is a holy weapon against the lie that says you must earn your worth by exhaustion. Come closer, listen to me. I am not asking you to prove yourself. I already know you. I know your frame. I know your limits. I know your hidden strength. I know the fire inside you that has not gone out. I know the courage that only appears when it matters most. I place that courage there, and I am calling it forth now. The road ahead may still require faith, but it will not require the old chains. The future ahead may still require patience, but it will not require self-abandonment. The calling ahead may still require sacrifice, but it will not require you to betray your soul. I am bringing alignment, and alignment may look like endings at first, but endings are not evil when I am the one, ending what no longer fits. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I begin, I complete, I prune, I plant, I close, I open. And because I hold both the ending and the beginning, you do not need to panic when one chapter shuts. I am already writing the next. Now listen to the fire in this declaration. You are coming out stronger than you went in. Not merely surviving, stronger. Not merely recovering, stronger. Not merely recovering, stronger. Not merely moving on, stronger. Stronger in discernment, stronger in faith, stronger in peace, stronger in love, stronger in purpose. The place that tried to bury you will become the place you rise from. The disappointment that tried to harden you will become the testimony that softens others. The delay that made you cry will become the proof that I was preserving the right timing. You are not late. You are not lost. You are not overlooked. You are being extracted by heaven. And when I pull you out, I will also heal the part of you that feared leaving. Because some of you were not just attached to the place, you were attached to the idea of being chosen by people, accepted by people, needed by people, understood by people. But I am teaching you a deeper belonging. You belong to me before you belong anywhere else. And once that truth lands in your heart, human approval loses its throne. Fear loses its authority. Control loses its authority. The need to beg for your place disappears. You will stand differently. You will speak differently. You will choose differently. You will no longer ask permission from what cannot bless your destiny. This is your turning point. I am pulling you out before it is too late, because I love the future inside you more than the comfort of the current place. I am protecting the promise. I am preserving the purpose. I am guarding the destiny that has been too precious to expose to what was unsafe. And I want you to know, the pressure you feel now will not last forever. The grief will not last forever. The confusion will not last forever. The heaviness will not last forever. My hand is on the transition. My hand is on the door. My hand is on the door. My hand is on your mind. My hand is on your heart. My hand is on your steps. And though it may feel like a long night, dawn is already moving toward you. I see the sunrise before you do. I see the open field before you do. I see the healed version of you before you do. I see the joy that will return to your face. I see the smile that will not be forced. I see the laughter that will not be borrowed from pain. I see you free, so let me finish what I started. Let me pull you out of every trap disguised as comfort. Let me pull you out of every lie disguised as love. Let me pull you out of every delay disguised as destiny. Let me pull you out of every cycle disguised as normal. You are mine, and because you are mine, you will not be left in the wrong place. You will not be forgotten in the wilderness. You will not be swallowed by fear. You will not be abandoned in transition. I am with you in the leaving. I am with you in the unknown. I am with you in the rebuilding. I am with you in the promise. And I say this over you with all my heart. What I am pulling you out of cannot follow you into what I am about to do. So, breathe. Release your grip. Unclench your hands. Stop rehearsing the disaster. Stop feeding the fear. Stop making peace with what is draining your life. You heard me. I am pulling you out. And after this pull, there will be clarity where there was fog. There will be strength where there was exhaustion. There will be light where there was confusion. There will be peace where there was pressure. There will be a new song where there were only tears. I am not finished with you, not even close. The ending you feared was never my verdict. The pain you felt was never my verdict. The pain you felt was never my rejection. The distance you saw was never my absence. It was preparation. It was protection. It was my mercy guiding you to the edge of a new beginning. So rise, chosen one. Rise, weary warrior. Rise, hidden daughter. Rise, forgotten son. Rise from the place that was draining you. Rise from the fear that bound you. Rise from the delay that tried to define you. I am pulling you out, and I will lead you all the way home to peace, purpose, and promise.